Hello again. I'm glad you made it back. I am Robert Steinbauer, and today we talk about marketing and sustainability. Why are marketing and sustainability in one chapter? Well, in the past, I found myself preaching about sustainability and how organizations need to be better global citizens. But organizations who follow a stakeholder theory approach that I discussed in my CSR chapter do all that already. Don't forget, the environment is a primary stakeholder that needs to be taken into consideration. Moreover, I also have a chapter on social enterprise that focuses specifically on addressing social needs. So there was some redundancy in my sessions when it comes to sustainability. With regards to marketing, I previously focused on unethical marketing strategies. Marketing to the vulnerable, for example. But somehow I feel that if you don't know that it is unethical to take advantage of elderly, to take advantage of sick people, children, or anybody for that matter, that at this point in your life, my lectures will not convince you either anymore. So I decided to combine two chapters that were previously maybe not so great and try something new. The result is a rather lengthy reading list that focuses on sustainability and how to successfully market sustainable products. So let's get started, shall we? The evidence could not be clearer. Climate change is real and humans have contributed to it, period. I will not go into too much detail here either, because if you still deny this fact, I will likely not be able to convince you. But here are some references for you just in case you would like more information. The Canadian government acknowledged the severity of climate change when the House of Commons passed a motion with 186 votes in favor and 63 against to declare national climate emergency in Canada. It certainly has symbolic value, but what does that actually mean? As the emergency declaration states, Canada should commit to meeting its national emission target under the Paris Agreement and to make deeper reductions in line with the agreement's objective of holding global warming below 2 degrees Celsius and pursuing efforts to keep global warming at 1.5 degrees Celsius. In short, it means Canada needs to reduce its emissions, for example, through cap and trade or the carbon tax. Unfortunately, a few days later, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his cabinet also approved the Trans Mountain Expansion Project because it's in the national interest. The extension of the Trans Mountain Pipeline will almost triple the current capacity and carry oil from Alberta's oil patch to the BC coast. While the pipeline itself is actually a rather safe and efficient way to transport oil when compared to trains, the extension of the pipeline also means that the oil patch will grow. And that means more oil sand will be extracted. And that is the really bad news here. If you do not know how bad oil sand is, please simply Google it. On the other hand, Trudeau also committed to use the money earned from the pipeline to invest in clean energy projects. So there are positive and negative aspects to it. But the question still stands, why not simply directly invest in clean energy projects? With this in mind, do you think that the Canadian government is fully committed to fight climate change? Well, let's move back to business ethics. A lot has changed over the last few decades, and large and small organizations now acknowledge the importance of sustainable business practices. This shift is best illustrated by two statements from Nike's annual report. In 1997, Nike wrote, "Nike is not here to create a new world order. We are not here to eliminate poverty and famine or lead the war against violence and crime. Our critics say the world is going to hell in a Nike sports bag. Then again, our critics, for the most part, aren't athletes." Now, that is a bold statement for a publicly traded organization that relies on its reputation to attract customers and investors. Well, 14 years later, Mark Parker, the CEO of Nike at the time, was quoted in the annual report saying, "I believe that any company doing business today has two simple options. Embrace sustainability as a core part of your growth strategy, or eventually stop growing." Well, a lot of people say engaging in sustainable business practices is just window dressing. Organizations do to make sure consumers, investors, and other stakeholders are happy. But what are companies actually doing? Well, that's what McKinsey's global survey about sustainability's strategic worth tried to find out. Amongst other things, McKinsey asked, what actions does your company take to address environmental, social, and governance issues? What practices do you use to manage sustainability and the value at stake? And what are the challenges you face? The report itself summarizes the responses from 3,344 executives from different regions, industries, company sizes, functional specialties, and tenures. As you can see from the bar graphs, the amount of companies who say that they invest in sustainability to align their operations with companies' business goals, mission, and values doubled from 2010 to 2014. From my perspective, this is great news, since companies seem to be more and more intrinsically driven to invest in sustainable business practices and are not solely driven by the need to build, maintain, or improve their reputation or cut costs. This report also identified the following aspects that differentiates sustainable leaders from average companies. First, sustainable leaders set aggressive internal and external targets or goals for their sustainability initiatives. Second, they have a unified sustainability strategy with clear articulated strategic priorities. They also have a broad leadership coalition that is involved in shaping and co-creating the sustainability strategy, goals, and milestones. Finally, the financial benefits of sustainability are clearly understood across the organization. Investing in sustainability is investing in long-term success of the organization. Based on their observations, they derived 4 distinct approaches to the sustainability organization. The first approach is labeled execution-focused, and 13% of sustainability leaders utilized it. Organizations using this approach implement sustainability programs that focus heavily on corporate reputation and competitive positioning. Of all employees, middle managers engage the most with sustainability issues, while CEOs are the least engaged among the 4 approaches. The top 5 organizational practices observed in this category are including sustainability in performance assessments, providing clear structure, goals, and responsibilities for efforts. Using key indicators and targets to manage performance. Including sustainability in skill building methods and tools. And finally, number 5 was translating the sustainability vision into clear strategy and goals. The next approach was labeled leader supported, and around 14% of sustainability leaders utilized it. Here, employees at all levels of the organization, including the CEO, engage with sustainability issues and activities. There is a strong focus on impact and on the employee's role in sustainability. In addition, the vision and strategy for the program are clear. Companies pursue sustainability so they can identify and address an issue on which the business can have a tangible, positive impact. The top 5 organizational practices observed in this category are leaders inspiring employees with encouragement and recognition, appealing to employees' values around sustainability, enabling collaboration on sustainability activities, leaders involving and empowering employees to sustainability work, and finally, translating the sustainability vision into clear strategy and goals. The third approach identified was labeled externally oriented and accounted for approximately 20% of sustainability leaders. In these organizations, top leaders and middle management most engage in sustainability issues, and they are most concerned with consumer expectations, stakeholder demands, and the overall competitive positioning. In short, these companies pursue sustainability so they can strengthen competitive positioning or respond to competitive pressure. The top 5 organizational practices observed in this category are capturing ideas and best practices from external parties, using competitive insights to inform a sustainability strategy, maintaining a network of external partners to drive sustainability, using customer insights to respond to customer needs, and finally, developing strong relationships with local communities and governments. The final approach McKinsey identified was labeled deeply integrated. And, as you can guess, this is the most comprehensive approach, and consequently, 36% of all sustainability leaders used it. Sustainability is embedded across all processes, and organizations' senior and middle managers are the most involved in sustainability activities. They pursue growth opportunities, respond to regulatory issues, and focus on the broader impact. Companies in this category pursue sustainability so they can develop new growth opportunities by developing new markets or products. And the top 5 organizational practices observed in this category were: number 1, offering career opportunities to top sustainability performers, using the sustainability program as an opportunity for talent development, including sustainability in performance assessments, including sustainability in skill building methods and tools, and finally, monitoring performance standards for sustainability. So now we know the 4 different approaches to a sustainable organization. So now we know about the 4 different approaches to a sustainable organization. While the last was used by more sustainability leaders and requires the most dedication for sustainability, each one can be effective. At the beginning of this video, I said that there's some overlap between CSR and sustainability. Can you link different CSR approaches to the different sustainability approaches discussed?